It is my desire to be closer to God tomorrow than I was yesterday and even today, in that I refuse to live a life without the presence of God. Is that the same for you? Good morning, Trinity. Today is the day that we have set apart for our corporate day of prayer and fasting. And it is our hope and desire that as we spend time together in God's creation, that we would ask God to draw closer to us. That is interesting because the reality of the situation is that we know, or that we really should know, that as we draw closer to God, God in His faithfulness has promised that He will draw closer to us. That is, when we step, God will step. When we reach for God, God will reach for us. And as we seek God, God will seek us. How do I know that? And how can you know that with that assurance? Well, it is the Word of God. In James chapter 4, verse 8, God says to us that as we draw closer to Him, He will, not He might, but He will most definitely draw closer to us. And what that is saying to us is that we ought to be in a posture where we are always drawing closer to God. We do this by using about three principles. We submit to God in all things. We resist the devil, and our walk should be that of humility. What that is saying to us, my Trinity family, is that you and I really ought to have a God consciousness about us. And that God consciousness relates to us that God is with us, that God is smiling on us, and that the favor of God is upon us. And as we spend time today in God's creation, and as we spend time today in prayer and fasting, drawing closer to God, because prayer and fasting is a pathway where we draw closer to God, we have the blessed assurance that as we do this, God is drawing closer to us. And so this is our prayer to God. Father, draw close to us today. Speak to us, guide us, protect us, lead us. Be God to us, be Father to us. And so my prayer and my wish is that as we spend time drawing closer to God, and as we spend time asking God to draw closer to us, that we would come alive in His presence. I pray God's blessing and God's peace upon each and every one of you today as you spend time drawing closer to God, asking Him, and knowing without a doubt that God will draw closer to you and to me. God bless each and every one of you today.